Yo, dudes, the Empire's pretty chill. Maybe you could, join it or something.
Hey guys, so it is October 26th of 2019 and I'm about to go and see the new Terminator movie. Oh man, I'm so excited for this because James Cameron's returning, to do the franchise now and yeah, Linda Hamilton's returning as Sarah and so is Arnie's the Terminator. I really can't wait for this, I'm so excited, oh man. I always better than Terminator Genesis because I hate that movie, but yeah. I hope this movie will be good too, but yeah. Oh, by the way, if anyone tries to stop me from watching, they're going to be in for a shock because I'm not in my room. I'm about to head out right now, so yeah. They're all going to go up there right now and be annoyed.
Luke, do not... Where is he? Where is Luke? Did he go to a cinema before I could get in? My mission has failed. He has gone to a cinema and it is too late for me to warn him. I have failed.
Hey, oh, is that a time? Oh, I best get going, so yeah. I'll see you guys later. I really wish now that I did not see this movie because, oh boy. I think it's pretty much true that this franchise, being Terminator, has met, pun intended, a dark fate. So yeah, welcome to the next episode of my Trash Talk series, guys. And as you've seen by the title and by the intro just then to what I was about to see, today's Trash Talk is going to be for the sixth and hopefully the last movie of this franchise. And this movie is none other than Terminator Dark Fate. Oh my god. Yeah, guys, I used to sort of toy this movie a little bit when I first saw it at the cinema, and now I can't stand it. This movie was released in my country, in the UK, on October 23rd of 2019, and then of course it was released on November 1st in the United States and rest of the world. And yeah, this movie is an absolute disgrace, guys. It's a big disgrace to a franchise, and now I consider it to be the second worst Terminator movie of all time after Terminator Genesis. And I don't call this Terminator Dark Fate, guys. I call it Terminator Crap Fate because this movie is absolute crap. And yeah. And there's tons of things I hate about this movie, guys. But yeah, so let's try to get through a good quality of the movie first, guys, as usual. So if any that I could say is that at least James Cameron returns to produce the movie, which is probably one good thing I could say about it. But yeah, it's not saying much for because of the horrible directions that happened in this movie. And what's that, guys? This director was the same guy who directed Deadpool, the first movie, Tim Miller. And yeah, in my opinion, he works far better as a director of Deadpool than this. Way better. And I guess another good quality is also that Linda Hamilton returns as Sarah Connor. Probably the only best thing out of the movie, in my opinion, guys, that she returned. And yeah, and still a badass, even though in my opinion she was quite underused in terms of what she did. And I will say that my favourite scene in the movie, guys, all the scene that I like is her entrance where she opens fire on the Rev 9 Terminator, the new villain, with her assault rifle and her grenade launch. And she even gets the chance to say Arnold Schwarzenegger's famous catchphrase, "I'll be back," as well. So yeah, it's used once again. And Arnold Schwarzenegger also does return as a Terminator, guys. Only this time he's got a name, which is Carl. And yeah. And he also says a paraphrase of his famous catchphrase where he says, "I won't be back." Just like how in Terminator 3 he says, "She'll be back." And also later says, "I'm back." So yeah. He says paraphrase again in this movie. However, unfortunately, guys, I did not like how they portrayed Carl in the movie. And yeah. And I will say as well that the movie does have pretty stunning visuals, I will say, because it's 2019, it had very good visuals for its time, and yeah. And I also as well really liked the music composed by Junk XL or Tom Holkenborg. It was very good music, and very good score. He did it really well, especially, the main theme of it, and also the epilogue music as well. And I like how he also included a guitar in the soundtrack, because I think it really fit well for the South American setting in Mexico. It fit really well, in my opinion. And yeah, plus, yeah, it does have good cinematography, music, and it's good to see Linda Hamilton return as Sarah for the first time since Judgment Day, of course, which was in 1991, so yeah. However, on to bad quality, so So first of all, guys, I think probably in my opinion, the number one worst, biggest mistake the movie made was how, even before the title card came on, where it showed Terminator Dark Fate, the movie kills off John Connor. And that was, like, probably the biggest mistake of the movie. In my opinion, that's where the movie died. And I hated that. So, like, he's killed almost immediately at the beginning, and it undermines the whole purpose of Judgment Day. So, killing off John makes the T-800 Model 101 from the second movie, Sacrifice, pointless. And yeah, he protected John for no reason. It's just ridiculous. And it makes no sense how other Terminators were sent back, as well as the T-1000 to kill John. And like, because they never showed up in Judgment Day at all. It's just so dumb. And apparently, the director says that the reason why John was killed is that he doesn't believe in stories about the Chosen One. And he felt it made the story stronger, but it really didn't make it stronger at all. It's just ridiculous. And like, the way he gets killed in the movie is just so stupid. Happens way too early, and yeah. And like, why didn't Tim Miller listen to, you know, how fans reacted to the idea of John originally dying in Salvation, where his face got cut off and put onto Marcus Wright, like, in the original ending of it? Like, he didn't listen. Like, when John died, I was so furious, guys. But I will say that the CGI in that scene where they digitally de-aged Arnie, Linda Hamilton, and Edward Furlong for that scene was very good. And in case you're wondering, guys, Edward Furlong actually only appeared for a movie on one day just to do the motion capture for John, and that was it. And yeah, so Edward Furlong was absolutely wasted. And I was especially looking forward to a movie because of James Cameron confirming that John will be returning, played by Edward Furlong. I was thinking he'd be an adult alongside his mother, you know, fighting with her, but nope. So that really annoyed me. Like, it's just so stupid, in my opinion. And also, guys, you know how I said that I didn't like how he portrayed Carl in this movie, who is the Terminator that Arnie plays? Like, because Carl is actually the Terminator that kills John. And what is so stupid is, right, you know, there's some reasons why I didn't like how they portrayed, you know, Carl in this movie. I mean, first of all, I really hate how after killing John, he somehow grew a conscience when he blended into humanity, and he felt remorse for killing John, and he turned to the side of the heroes. Like, what? No! Terminators are not human. They're machines. Like, they don't grow consciences. Like, when Sarah was saying that, you know, that he's a Terminator and he has no feelings, I was agreeing with her. Like, I'm thinking, yes, he's not human. Like, goodness me. And only that, but just like how Pops was comic relief in Terminator Genisys, as I call it, in Crap Fate, Carl is also comic relief in many occasions, because he says way too many annoying lines which are meant to be comic relief, you know, and make no sense to the character. It destroys the whole purpose of what a Terminator is, and yeah. And if a Terminator can change its behaviour by itself, then this makes the T-800 Sacrifice and Judgment Day even more pointless now. So yeah, because of John's death, that means that both Kyle Reese and the T-800, they both died for nothing. They died, sacrificing themselves to ensure John would live, but nope. He got killed in this movie, which was just a dumb move. So yeah, killing John off destroyed any hope of me ever, you know, liking this movie. So yeah. And then, and because of John's death, he gets a replacement, which is a new protagonist called Danny Ramos, and yeah. Like, oh my god, right? Danny Ramos was just a pathetic, lame replacement, in my opinion, guys. Like, because compared to, you know, the great character which John Connor is, Danny Ramos is incredibly annoying as hell. I could not stand her at all. Like, it's just ridiculous. And plus, she also gets a new protector, guys, which is a soldier from the future called Grace, who is augmented with cybernetic parts, yeah, to enhance her. And, oh my god, right, Grace was also incredibly annoying as hell, right? I could not stand her. And do you dare get me started on the scenes where she's insulting Sarah? Like, that was really rude and mean-spirited. Like, because how dare she do that? Because Sarah Connor is one of my favourite action heroes of all time. Played by my second favourite actress of all time, Linda Hamilton, after Gina Carano. So, yeah. Goodness me. So, how dare she insult Sarah like that? And plus, when it comes as well to to Grace, right? You know, not only is she a very annoying character, she's also a rip-off of Marcus from Salvation, because they both have, you know, human and cybernetic parts, because Marcus was a cyborg, and she has parts to augment her strength. And her personality is also a rip-off of Kyle Reese as well, so yeah, nothing new there. Like, Mackenzie Davis, you know, is a great actress, guys. I like her far more in Blade Runner 2049 over this. Way more in that. So, yeah. And the new villain, guys, is also a Terminator who is called the Rev 9, made by a new company in the future called Legion, a new organisation, because Skynet is, of course, gone. And also, what is so dumb, guys, is one of the reasons why I didn't like Carl is because he somehow knows what Legion is, even though he wasn't made by them, he was made by Skynet. Like, that is just so ridiculous. And he, of course, knows when they're arriving and whatever. Like, how can you know what Legion is? It's just ridiculous. He's from a future where Legion didn't exist or whatever, as he says, because he's from a future it never happened. So, yeah. Not only that, though, guys, but I also did not like how Arnie was incredibly underused, because unless you count his scene at the beginning where he's played by a double, which is Brett Azar, with his face CGI'd onto him, you know, his younger self from Judgment Day, Arnold Schwarzenegger does not appear until over an hour into a movie. And that is just ridiculous. And he hardly does much either. Apart from stuff as comic relief. Which is just absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion, how they underused Arnie. Like, come on. Arnie is the face of the franchise, and you just had to waste him like that? Come on. And the same could be said about Sarah, because she also is quite underused as well, despite playing the biggest role and being first built in the cast, Linda Hamilton. You know, she's also very underused, which I did not like. I was disappointed with that. And it feels like she and Arnie are only in the movie for fan service, pretty much. That's why they're in there, in my opinion. They don't do anything important in the movie at all. It's just so dumb. And not only that, but when it comes to a villain, guys, the Rev 9, played by Gabriel Luna, normally, you know, I mean, Gabriel Luna was good as in what he was given, in my opinion, but he was just, you know, a knockoff of a TX from Terminator 3, because Larry TX, he's a metal endoskeleton with liquid polyalloy around him, you know, similar to a T-1000, and yeah, like, nothing new there, just a knockoff of a TX, and the only thing it can do is separate itself into 2 units, and that's it. So that is just, you know, so stupid, really. I like Gabriel Luna way more as the Robbie Reyes incarnation of Ghost Rider, guys, in Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show in Series 4. I like him way more in that role, to be honest. So, yeah. Nothing really new there in regards to Rev 9 at all. Not only that, but he also acts way too human as well in some areas. As well, even when he's supposed to be a machine, really. It's pretty confusing. Especially in his final lines of the movie where he's, you know, talking to the main heroes as if he's human, but he's not human, he's a Terminator. Come on. Goodness me. So, like, this movie had so many problems, guys. It's just absolutely stupid, really. And also, in my opinion, after John Connor's death, guys, the opening scenes where we're introduced to, you know, Grace and Danny is also incredibly slow-paced. Like, it's incredibly slow, and it drags on way too long. There's also a fight scene, which is in a plane, and in my opinion, that dragged on way too long. It went on for ages, nothing really much important happened at all, just a fight. And it also ripped off a scene from Terminator Genisys, where the Rev 9 is able to tear off the skin from Arnie's Terminator, and yeah, to reveal his metal arm, which copied the same scene from Genisys in the final fight of that movie in the factory. So yeah, for Genisys. And also, guys, what is all stupid about this movie is, you know, like many other sequels to Judgment Day, this movie has way too many plot lines which rehash the first 2 movies. The idea of, you know, going back in time to protect someone and, you know, ensure they live for the future. Yeah, it's just like protecting John so he can live for the future to leave a human race. And it turns out that Dani Ramos is going to be the leader of Resistance in the future. She won't give birth to a child who's going to lead Resistance in the future. She's going to be the leader. It's just a knockoff, guys. It's just so stupid, really. Like, nothing really new happened at all, and it really annoyed me. At least Salvation tried to be different, guys, because it took place after Judgment Day in the future. So yeah, like I said before in my review for Salvation and my trash talk with Jenna Sissy, I wish they did sequels to that movie instead of doing these two movies, because these two movies, in my opinion, are absolute abominations. And yeah, and rewatching the movie last night made me hate it even more because of the rehashes, killing off John, and you know, very annoying new characters and rehashing the plot. It was just ridiculous, really, in my opinion, guys. And plus, guys, in case you're wondering about the whole timeline thing, apparently, guys, this movie is a direct sequel to Judgment Day, and it ignores Rise of Machines, Salvation, and Genesis, and also the ride called T2 3D Battle Across Time, and the TV show, The Sarah Connor Chronicles. It ignores all of them and says we're taking place in alternate timelines. So, yeah. But that didn't save the franchise, guys, because this movie was just still an absolute disgrace, and it also has sequel baiting at the end, because at the end, guys, Rev 9 is destroyed, but at the cost of Grace and Carl sacrificing themselves, and yeah. Plus, what is also stupid, guys, is at Carl's house where he's living at in that forest, you know, Sarah tells him that once it's all over and Red 9's been destroyed and Danny is protected, she's going to kill him, and Carl says, I understand. Yet, at the end of the movie, guys, instead, Carl sacrifices himself, you know, by allowing himself and the Rev 9 to fall into that, you know, pit in that place where they're going to destroy it using Grace's power thing, which Danny stabs into Rev 9. And Carl holds him down, and then it burns him and burns off all his surreal endoskeleton, and he says, for John. And then they both, you know, blow up and melt. And for some reason, Sarah mourns his loss. And, like, I don't get it, Sarah, because, you know, this Terminator killed your son, so why are you mourning his loss? Honest to God, that just really annoyed me. When it comes to Grace, guys, in my opinion, she was also utterly useless as well, because apparently, guys, she needs to take medication to survive. So, like, I'm thinking, what kind of protector is that? You're supposed to send someone back who is always going to be there to protect who needs to be protected. I mean, Carl Reese was always there to protect Sarah, and Matilda was always there to protect John, but Grace is absolutely useless. Even Marcus in Salvation was a better protector to John than her, towards Danny. Even the T-850 from Terminator 3 was a better protector to John and Catherine Brewster. And yeah. Even Pops was a better guardian as well to Sarah and later to Kyle as well in Genesis. But yeah, Grace was absolutely useless. And not only that, but she was very annoying as well, just like Danny as well. And plus, the dialogue, in my opinion, guys, is also very laughable. Like, because last night I had a couple of laughs with this movie because of the very bad dialogue. Especially the way Danny announced that she was wanting to stand up and fight Rev 9. Oh my God, the way she said her lines, goodness me. Like, it was just so laughable, guys. And yeah. And I feel this movie lacks the heart that the first two movies have. There's a lack of thrill as well, in my opinion. It's just so ridiculous. And yeah. And also, guys, there's the sequel based, like I just said, because at the end it shows, you know, Sarah and Danny, you know, watching young Grace in a park. And Danny wants to avert her death and prevent Legion from rising. And then Sarah says, then you need to be ready. And then they drive off. And then that's it. And that was sequel baiting. But thankfully, guys, this movie bombed at the box office and performed very badly. One of the biggest box office bombs of all time, because it's only grossed $261 million against a budget of production of $185 to $196 million. So yeah, that is a very, very bad box office bomb, yeah. So thankfully, all future films were cancelled. And even Linda Hamilton didn't want to return from either, so yeah, and I don't blame her at all. So yeah, because this movie absolutely sucked. And so yeah, all sequels were cancelled, and thank God for that. And they better not do like any reboots or anything like that, because like I've already stressed before, guys, in my reviews, Terminator for me is only the first two movies, and that's it. So yeah, I just wish we ended it with Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Like, goodness me. Because everything else has been, you know, some of them have been tolerable, some things have been unnecessary, and yeah. And this is definitely no exception, because I absolutely despise this movie, you know. I've grown to not like it a lot more over time with all rewatches, and especially from last night's rewatch as well. Because, you know, I definitely didn't like the movie at all. And we even get, you know, Danny's brother, who is called Diego, played by Diego Boneta. And Diego was unfortunately wasted, guys. That was disappointing. I didn't like that. And with regards to the music, guys, I will say that even though, you know, the movie wasn't that good, it was also a nice little reference how they played the bar music from Terminator 2 Judgment Day. And, you know, the scene where Rev 9 crashes after a plane fight. So, yeah, at least they, you know, include that music, which is pretty good. And, yeah. And I will say that the CGI for John, I guess, was still really good. Even though, of course, Edward Furlong didn't actually, you know, properly prize it all because he got absolutely wasted. We got a bodybuilder called Jude Colley, and who Edward Furlong also helped with a motion capture or whatever. And Aaron Cunnings, of course, voiced John as well. So, yeah. But I didn't have that much lines because all he said was like Buenos Dias, Senorita, or something like that. I mean, the movie starts off as a Terminator movie, guys, in my opinion, because it showed, you know, flashbacks of Sarah being interrogated in you know, the mental hospital with Dr. Silberman interrogating her at, you know, a mental institution. And then that was it. And then, of course, it showed, you know, the beach, where it looks like Sarah and John having a happy life there. But all of a sudden, Carl comes in and kills him. So, yeah, that's when the movie just died. So, yeah. Like, you start out as a Terminator movie, then as soon as John dies, then, yeah, rest in peace, Terminator. That's when the movie died. And, yeah. But despite those few good qualities I mentioned, like, you know, the return of Linda Hamilton and Arnie and James Cameron producing, and, yeah, and the visuals and the CGI, and some of the fight scenes, I guess, are quite decently choreographed, in my opinion. But, yeah, not really that memorable, in my opinion, to be honest. You know, they're not really, you know, as enjoyable as the ones from the first two movies, in my opinion. Yeah, this is still a terrible movie, in my opinion, guys. And as you guys may have seen in my updated ranking I did on my community post a couple of months ago, I now give this movie, I used to give it probably like an 8 out of 10 or something like that. But now, guys, I give it a very bad 4.5 out of 10. Just, you know, probably the second word after Genesis, because in my opinion, Genesis is much, much worse. So, yeah. But this is very close to being almost as bad as it. But, yeah. In my opinion, it's slightly better due to Linda Hamilton being better than Emilia Clarke as Sarah, in my opinion. Because, you know, no one can play Sarah better than Linda Hamilton, in my opinion, guys. And, yeah. Anyway, guys, so this is me doing my trash talk of Terminator crap fate, as I call it. So, you know, drill, guys. Be sure to give this video a like. Also, be sure to let us know in the comments what you guys think of Terminator Dark Fate, if you've seen it, see what your thoughts are on it. Also, be sure to join Team Prime, press and subscribe for movies coming in the future. If you'd like to be a member, you can press join with Union Peace, that's all in the description. And hasta la vista, baby.